Hello and welcome, Crosstown Gamer here, and we're back with another episode of our playthrough of Falling Sky, the Gallic Revolt Against Caesar, Volume 6 in the Coin series. So, when last we left the board, this is roughly what it looked like. I did make a modification. I keep forgetting to adjust the Roman victory condition when allies enter the board. But what can you do? I remember it after the fact. It's not like it really matters until the winter phase anyway. I did take a quick stock of everyone's victory condition and noticed that the Dewey player are currently eligible to win. So they need more than 6 allied tribes on the board or citadels, and they have 7. So that's bad news. We already knew it was bad news because they had actually taken control of Provincia down here. We left a very meager force to defend this area because we were trying to get up and rescue our guys from up here and create a supply line, and so that we could actually get them back. So all in all, it's not going great for us. There's a lot of pieces on the board right now. They're pretty siloed, but big battles could happen at any moment. So let's get right into it. The Chieftains Council, this is an event that none of the AI, the bots, actually want to play. They've got the crossed swords there, and currently they're the only ones eligible. So we're not even going to read the event, but we're going to note that the Edui are up first. So let's take a look at their sheet. Are they first on the upcoming card but not the current card? No, just the opposite. Can they use the event? Yes. Is it a no Edui event? Yes. Would a battle force loss of an enemy leader, ally, citadel, or legion? No, because the only place where they are intermingled with other factions, I guess there's 2, here and here, and they only have 1 warband, so that's going to be half of a loss anyway. And we still have an auxilia here in the event that they did cause a loss, and we have a fort here, so that's going to be a no. Are there or rally would place citadels, etc. They don't have control of this region, and these are dispersed, so they can't place allies there. Everywhere else is full as far as allied tribes that they have control over. So they're not going to be able to rally there. And normally I would say yes, they can rally to get 3+ pieces, but they actually are out of pieces entirely as far as their warbands go. They can't add any more warbands to the map, so this is a no. Do they have 0 to 3 resources? No. They're at 8. So they're going to march. They're going to leave 1 Edui warband in the region. So I did get some clarification. I know the last time we went through this was probably video 4 or 5, so it's been a while. And hopefully I have a decent head on my shoulders today to try and get through this with as few rules goofs as possible. But again, point it out if I do it wrong. We're going to go sequentially because we've got the numbered bullet points here in black, or the black background with the white text. And so the first one is we're going to move from 1 region to add 1 hidden Edui in up to 3 regions where there are none. So within that, we're picking a region that's an origin region, and it needs to have the following. Needs to have a hidden Edui warband, at least 2, because they need to leave 1 in there for control. And it needs to be able to go into up to 3 regions, preferably where there are enemy allies or citadels, and to those of the enemies with the most allies plus citadels, and that's total, not just in those locations. I read in the rules, it's like most allies total. So they're going to prioritize going to the Averni because they have the most allies total on the map. We don't have any, and the Belgic player has 2. So keeping that in mind, they're not going to march from down here because they need to leave 1 hidden warband as well in the region. So they're not going to march here. They could march from here, or they could march from here. And if you look at their priorities, they want to march in up to 3 regions, and they want to do it as many as possible, where there are enemy allies or citadels. And there aren't any down here. So this isn't looking like a likely spot for this particular march. It looks like it's going to be this spot because there's enemy ally here, and enemy ally here. So, and this is next to the green, so that's further bolstering their confidence, or my confidence, that I'm playing this correctly, that this is the origin region, and these would be the 3 destination regions. And then the first destinations are going to be to places where the allies with the most number of enemy allies and citadels total, which is going to be green. So they would want to move, and they're moving 1 warband from this region. So they're going to go from here to here. Then the other 2 locations are perfectly viable as well, because those do have enemy allies in them. So they would move 1 there and 1 there. Trying to find a good spot for him. So hopefully I haven't fumbled over my words too much, and I've made the point clear. It's like they can pick up to 3 regions. The only requirement is that they have enemy allies, and then they're going to prioritize within that, going to green first. So they did that. They went to the other 3, or the other 2, and they need to leave 1 behind. Well, they've left a bunch behind, so that's good. Then, now we've done the first bullet point. The second bullet point is to move to add a Dewey control to 1 region beyond or among the above with as few warbands as necessary. So again, moving these, they can't because they need to leave 1 behind. They can move from here, but anywhere they go is 1, 2 to 1, 2, 3. So they could move from here down to here, and they would have control of that. So that's one prospective way they could do it. The other one, well, let's count it out, because if they move from here into here, this was already selected as a space, so they could try to move in a bunch of pieces here. I haven't counted them to see if they would actually get control that way. And it does say with the fewest possible, so I think they're still going to prioritize this, but let's just at least count it to make sure. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 13 green pieces here. So we need 14 blue pieces for this to work. And we need to leave 1 behind. So in each region. So we get 2 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 plus 10 is 12, plus an extra 1 is 13. So they would tie. They would remove control, but they wouldn't actually gain control. So instead, they're going to select this as their starting location and move 2 pieces. They leave 1 behind, they don't lose control, and they move them down here. And now there's 4 pieces to our Roman 3. So they get control of that. And a march costs, none of the spaces are devastated. So a march will cost 1 per origin region, and they march from here, and they march from here for a total of 2 resources. So then they're going to trade only if their resources are 0 to 9, which it is. It's currently, I just moved it down to 6. And they're second eligible. No, that's false. Or trade would add 3 plus resources. So Romans must decide if we agree. Well, since they're winning, we're going to decline their ability. We can't decline supply lines, unfortunately, because they just straight up have supply lines. Because we lost Provincia. Man, I'm such an idiot. I can't believe... Yeah, I mean, my strategy as the Roman player has obviously not been optimal. And yeah, I mean, I'm still learning the strategy for sure on all of these games. I never claimed to be good at it. I just claimed to know the rules, at least moderately well. So we don't agree to supply lines, but we don't have to. And we're not going to agree to do the trade so that they get double the resources. So let's take a look at their trade thing here. All regions within supply lines, and then so we didn't agree. We didn't have to. And they add +1 resource, so we didn't agree, so it's not the +2. For each ADOE ally and citadel, and each subdued tribe. I'm just making sure. It says Romans agreed twice, so I was just getting it in my head straight. So for every ally, citadel, and subdued tribe under their control, basically, they're going to get +1 resource. So in order to do it on their chart here, they just need to get +3 resources for it to work. And they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they're going to get 7. These aren't subdued tribes under their control. They're dispersed, so those don't count. But they're going to get 7 resources from trade without even needing anybody else. That's pretty crazy. So 7, it does meet the criteria. 7's greater than 3, so 7 plus 6 is 13. So they will sit up there like that. And that's that. That's their turn. So then we're going to move on to the Belgic player and see what they're going to do. Do they have 4+ Belgic warbands or ambiorics where there's a ally, citadel, legion, 4+ pieces? No. They have the only place they share really that they would be able to battle from is here, and there's only 1 piece there, so that's a no. Are they first on the upcoming card but not the current card? No, they're third on the upcoming card, so this is a no. Can they use the event? Yes. Is it a no Belgae event? Yes. Would Rally add a Belgic ally, citadel, 3+ warbands, or Belgic control? Well, they could rally. They only have 1 resource, so they can only rally inside of Belgica. And to do that, they would only be able to get 1 location, and this would remove control from the Germans, but it wouldn't add their own control. And doing it down here wouldn't affect control at all. They could rally over here, but that would cost 2 resources to do because it's outside of Belgica. So they're not going to do that. So I think this is a no because of their resource shortage. Do they have 0 to 3 resources? Yes. And are they going to roll a 1 through 4? Let's find out. So 1 through 4. Nope, they rolled a 5. So 5 or 6. They're going to march. To add control, so we're selecting a destination first. Add control. They can march in up to 3 regions. They're going to actually only march in 1 because they only have 1 resource. So it looks like the only really viable location for them to actually do anything with a march is going to be from this location here. And they're going to go up to 2 regions in Belgica with the most warbands able, while losing no control, and then outside with the fewest needed to take control. So they're adding control in Belgica. They can do that easily here. They cannot do it here. There's too many pieces here for them to be able to take control of that. So outside Belgica, they can go to Germania to add control there. They might be able to do it here too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 3. So 5. They would need 6. They would need 6 here. But the first bullet point on the flowchart is that first they're going to go in Belgica with the most warbands able, except 1 warband per origin, while losing no Belgic control. And then once that's completed, because it's a 1-2 thing, then we're going to check the second criteria. We're not going to do it first, or we're going to completely satisfy the requirement here. So they're going to basically take everyone except for one, and they can't lose control. So they're going to leave 2 behind. No, they only need 1 behind because they still would be able to keep control with just 1. And they're going to move everyone up here. So with the most able from their origin region here. And this will give them control. And it'll cost them a resource, but we'll deal with that in just a second. And this does give them 2 points because they just got control of a region. So population matters for them. And then the second thing is they can march to gain control to another region outside of Belgica with as few as possible, but they can't take any more from here. Now, I know what you're thinking, like they could still potentially go up here like this and get control of it that way. It's as though they just moved these forces here and then these forces over here from the same spot. But that's not how a march works. Even though the net result is the same, they can't double move, and they moved them here already. So they can't go here and then go over to here. So yeah, that would constitute a double move. If they would have planned better or the text were a little bit different, they might have left some behind so that they would be able to take control of more regions. I think if I were playing as them, that's what I would have done. But again, we've seen that what I would do is irrelevant because it's usually pretty terrible strategically. Anyway, that was their march, and that cost them 1. So now they're sitting here down here at 0 resources. And next time, even if they don't roll a 1 to 4, since they're out of resources, so it's if none, 0 resources, frost raid. They're going to go up here and raid anyway to get resources. But anyway, they marched. So now they're going to try to enlist, and they can do so. They're going to enlist to try to battle if able to cause loss versus a player. And I think they might be able to do it because this is within 1 region of Ambiorix. I don't remember if enlist costs anything though, and if it does, then they're out of luck. No, it doesn't cost. So within 1 of Germania and within 1 of Ambiorix. So this location they could enlist in. No, that's not within 1 of Ambiorix. Interesting. I thought for some reason regions within 1 of Germania or with Germanic pieces. Or with Germanic pieces and within 1 of Ambiorix. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought was happening, because I remember when I played this as the Belgic player, I was able to get German pieces like way over here because I just kept enlisting. So they can do that because this has Germanic pieces and it's within 1 of Ambiorix. So they can do that. And what they will do with those, they would like to battle if it would cause an enemy loss versus a player or a non-player, but they're going to choose me. And the battling here is going to be, they get 1, 2, 3 losses rounded down, or halved because of the fort. It makes it 3. Or sorry, 3 rounded or cut in half is 1.5, then rounded down as 1. So they could do 1 loss for us. And if we take a look, I believe the Germans always ambush if they're able to. Yeah, wherever the Germans can, with ambush. I remember looking this up. They always ambush if possible, and they're able to do so if they have more. With a Roman or Gallic faction that has fewer hidden pieces than Germans. And here we have 4 hidden pieces and they have 6. So they are able to ambush, which sucks for us because then we can't counterattack. So again, they're going to do that. So the Belgic player can enlist the help of the Germans to do battle against us. They're going to cause 3 losses and flip all their units. I believe ours get flipped as well because this is like a battle. So 3 losses, cut in half is 1.5, rounded down is 1. So we're going to lose this auxilia back to the board, and then these will end up oriented this way. Man, there's always just so much information to talk through on these things. We only get through 2 cards every video, and I think like, oh, we have the rules down. We're going faster, but I'm looking at it now, and we're at 21 minutes, and still on the first card. So that was their enlist. It didn't cost them a dang thing. Yeah, all remaining hidden participants are revealed. So the Aedui warband does not flip to revealed because it was not a participant in the battle. And I moved these around. So that was their enlist. They did their thing. Now we adjust eligibility and we move on to the next card. And I'm willing to bet that they want to take this event. And then, right, we did see previously that it was a capability. Okay, let's do it. Is Vercingetorix or 10 plus? No, I think that's the other location. And there's not 3 plus pieces there. Yeah, so I think that this first box is a no. Can they use the event? Yes. Is it ineffective? No. It's an auto 1-4. That's a yes. So they're going to do the event. They're going to use the shaded text, if any. So let's take a look. Roman style discipline. In any battles with their leader, Arverni pick 4 Arverni warbands and they take and inflict losses as if they were legions. So instead of doing, oh my gosh, so yeah, instead, if they had a battle down here, for example, they could treat 4 of these warbands as though they were legions and do a full point of damage instead of a half point, as well as if they end up getting losses inflicted, you'd have to roll for the first 4 to make sure to see if they were removed. Oh, and it wouldn't be down here. It would be up here because it has to be with their leader, it says. But regardless, that's a pretty strong event. And we're going to put it over on their sheet to remind us that they have that capability going forward when they use the event. Oh my gosh. So we're up next. And this is a sad sack situation. Let's see. Because like we need to battle to take back control of this. And we need to start really doing damage to the Aedui player and getting their allies ousted so that they don't just win. And that's going to be really hard because we're not currently, like, honestly, we don't have that many pieces on the map. I think we have the fewest. Maybe the Belgic player has the fewest. But like we have a ton of forces. We need to start like rallying and stuff. If we did rally here, we'd get a +1 to recruitment in Provincia. I believe we can always recruit in Provincia. So I think we would get like 2 pieces. We would get control back, which would be nice. The other places where rally would be useful, I guess, would be here to get our allied tribes there. And up here as well. But I'm worried about these Germans, like, taking control of the, like end up killing these legions. I know there's a fort there, which is great, but it's tough. Like a rally would be good to get back control of Provincia. That's like number one, what we would need to do. And then I guess next time we could battle and try to take over some of these allied tribes. We only have 2 loss points here. So we're not even going to be able to eliminate. Ugh, so bad. What to do? I'm going to pause and think about it real quick. Okay, I mean, we're in hot water either way. I think the plan is to battle because I am a little afraid of the Germans and honestly of the Dewey moving in here and just like rolling us. And we can get closer to taking out an ally here. If we were to rally, yeah, we'd get control, but then even in the subsequent battle that takes place, we wouldn't be able to get rid of the ally there because they still have this warband protecting it. So we can at least take care of a couple of pieces, make sure we're the only ones here. We can at least take out a couple of these, get control of this region with a battle. We can take out 1, 2, 3, 4 of these Germans, which is nice. So I think this is what we're going to do. They do get to counterattack, which I don't think the fort has losses on the counterattack. I would need to double check. Maybe it does. Yeah, I'll double check that. But yeah, so we're going to battle in 3 regions, which is going to cost 6 resources because it costs 2 for the Romans to do a battle in a non-devastated region. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I think it costs 2 anyway. Yeah, 4 if it's devastated. So let's start down here. We can do 2 damage, loss points. So they're gonna remove these warbands first, and they get to counterattack, but they only have half a point of loss, so that doesn't do anything. And then this reverts back to Roman control, which is great. Then, we can add a special ability here. We can scout or besiege. I'm not interested in scouting. I might want to besiege. Yes, no leader required. Oh my gosh. Okay. Just before inflicting any losses, we can remove 1 defending citadel or ally. We have to do this. Citadel still has losses. That's great. So we want to besiege down here. I know it was before we inflicted losses, but indulge me here. We're going to remove this as part of the besiege, and that puts them out of contention for the automatic victory. Then here we get to do 1, 2, 3, at least 3, more than enough to kill these damage. So we do that. No one's there to counterattack, so we don't need to worry about that. And then up here, and then because we battled, these need to flip to revealed. Close one. Almost bunged it up here. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 loss points. So let's take out these 4. Oh, but besieging, in order to get rid of this, we'd have to target the Belgic player, and then we wouldn't have any losses on the Germans. So I think we're more alarmed about the Germans. I know the besiege is like something we can only do so often. Yeah, and the scouting isn't interesting to me right now. Anyway, we did that, and that cost us our resources. The besiege doesn't cost anything, so that counts as our special ability and all of that. We'll adjust the eligibility. And we will get the next card out. So, Masked Gallic Archers and Arduena. You know, I'm thinking like the next winter card is any time at this point. So it's a good thing we got the Adui player back in check. However, I don't know how long that's going to last. So like, it's possible they could win at any moment. They just need a well-timed strike. Anyway, this is about where we're at. The Adui player is going to be up next. So I don't know if they're going to use the event or not, but Bernie Bell inflicts 1 fewer defender loss. Yeah. This is one extra. Okay. So like, yeah, that could help them here, but the Adui player might end up just like massing, troops through a march, and then next time battling. That could be pretty crazy. I think I didn't adjust again. I didn't adjust this. I'll need to count it afterward anyway. But when we removed that, yeah, I'm not so sure the other players added anything. So again, I'll need to double check. Either way, this is where we're at. We're still kind of in a bit of a bind. It's really touch and go here. But anything could happen. We're still doing well enough to where we're on the cusp of adulation, which would be really great to get a bunch more legions onto the map. So, like, we got that going for us, I guess, looking long term, but in the short term, anything could happen. I mean, the Arverni player, luckily, they're a little bit farther out of reach now. They would need 3 more allies to be able to be close to a win. And the Belgic player is still pretty far away. So it's just the Adui now. Anyway, that's Falling Sky. I'll see you guys next time. And have a great rest of your day or night or whenever you're watching. Bye.